When I think, when you think of food insecurity, there's so many layers that it is about hunger, right? At the core of it, it's about that there are people and a lot of children out there that need food, that need nutritious food. And sort of as you peel back the layers, it really does become an economic issue. Like you said, waste, sustainability, that other issues related to the economy, inflation, supply chain issues, rising gas prices. President Biden is trying to put a temporary hold on the federal gas tax to alleviate that pressure on Americans, freeing up some of their money at the gas pump. But it's a big problem. It's a community problem. It's a national problem. It's a world problem. Recently, I read an article that the World Bank approved a $2.3 billion program to help countries in Eastern and Southern Africa increase their ability to deal with spreading food stress. And they're hoping that'll affect 66.4 million people in that region by July. It's like there's small communities on it, there's big communities on it, but it seems that we just sometimes are spinning our wheels here, that we just can't seem to get a grapple on how to feed our population.
Yeah, and you and I have had this conversation before, which is that the U.S. has some pretty strict import laws when it comes to agriculture and when it comes to medication, and the FDA particularly has some has some, so it's not always easy to import and export food from places where there may be an abundance of to places where it may be more needed. So it is it requires cooperation of different states at a multinational level. And unfortunately, bureaucracies take time to resolve some of those issues, well-meaning as they may be, but it takes time. The other thing to think about is that, especially in the US, where we have such a stringent system of government, the president's hands are tied when it comes to waiving, uh, in terms of waiving, for example, the gas tax, right? Unfortunately, Congress has to act on it. He can recommend it, he can lobby for it, but Congress has the authority to waive that, and the bill has to get written, it has to be debated, it has to get passed. Then it goes on to the other side of then it has to go to the other side of the legislative process to the House. Let's say it starts in the Senate, goes to the House. The House has to pass that legislation. The president has to sign it. Starting Friday, our Congress is going to be on a 2-week long vacation leading up to the 4th of July weekend. So unless it gets done in the next 2 days, there's no relief in sight for the 4th of July weekend. So and then there are some states, for example, here in New York, where there is no state tax on gas, but there are some states where the taxes are higher than the federal government gas tax, and so there are things that individual states can do as well to sort of provide relief at the pump. But in a distributed form of government like we have, which has its pros and cons, but one of the issues is that it takes time, and it takes the working of partners to resolve some of these issues. And so unless something gets done in the next 24 hours, which I'm a glass half full kind of guy, but I just don't see it happening. You know, it's not getting done before the 4th of July, unfortunately.